What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Bioink Redemption. This time we are taking on the life campaign. It is fairly simple in structure. You choose life, you start the campaign, and you once again have 3 areas to choose from. We start at the med school, and we do the internship. That is the first kind of mission here. Obviously, once again, lethal difficulty, John Smith, as per usual. Now this is a little bit different. We have economy here first. Start the stage with 15 points, not that important in this case, in my opinion. Harvest a resource in under 2 seconds and earn 1 bonus bio point. That is not too bad, but I don't think it's really worth picking. Earn +1 points per resource collected while in the emergency room is okay, but if you don't get into emergency room very often, it really doesn't pay off too much. And random eruptions are pretty good, but it's hard to get all those points, especially on lethal difficulty, so I don't think that's worth it. We go for better resources. In the disease system, circulatory and respiratory diseases are 25% less potent. Not interested. All diseases are 10% less potent. That's interesting. Less collateral damage. That's interesting. Fewer symptoms. That is very interesting. Diseases produce less symptoms, narrowing potential diseases as a result. However, not what I want right now. We didn't read the last one. Fewer potential diseases. Clicking on a symptom will highlight fewer diseases. These two are very interesting, but I want to showcase the game first, and this first one isn't very difficult, so we go for this one. Lifestyles. All lifestyles are 10% less expensive. It's okay, but I don't think cost is our primary concern. All lifestyles are 20% more effective is pretty good, but I don't want to buy very many lifestyles, so probably not. Risk factors produce 50% less damage increase on diseases. In the first mission I don't think we will have to worry too much about many risk factors, so no. Start the stage with 2 randomly pre-upgraded lifestyles, that one is very good. Instant lifestyles. Evolving a lifestyle will also instantly heal target systems for a maximum of 5%. That's good, but I want 2 random ones at the start for this first mission. All diagnostic tests are 10% cheaper. That's good. All treatments are 10% cheaper. That's also good. All intensive care operations are 10% more effective when completed. That is okay. I don't really want it right now. All treatments are 10% more effective. That is okay. I don't really want it. Recovery starts at 10%. That is a good one. Now the question is, do we go for this or do we make the tests cheaper? Because you will run tests a lot. I go for the cheaper tests. Environment. Decrease system collapse speed by 30%. This is what I want. You have days lasting 20% longer. There are missions where this is interesting and we will pick it later on. Boost your final score doesn't really matter. Resource upgrades cheaper doesn't really matter. Resources staying longer is okay, but doesn't really help a lot. So let's start this. So the basic screen is kind of like the dev screen as well. Now, as you can see, we have the 2 lifestyles helping here. So what do the lifestyles do? We will get into that in a second. Lifestyles. So you have these lifestyles. We have sleep routine. A sleep routine, you can read the text here. It boosts the following system cells each 7 days by 1%. So every 7 days the health of the immune system is boosted up 1%. Then we have aerobic exercise. That boosts each 7 days the circulatory system 1% and the respiratory system 0.5%. It is a little bit different compared to the risk factors. because it doesn't like make them stronger or anything, it just regenerates it a little bit. Whereas the risk factors make the diseases that you evolve in that system stronger. So do we want anything? I don't think so. Maybe something that affects muscular, but I don't really care about that right now. I think we're fine without. When you have intensive care, you can make diagnosis faster. And these are emergency measures that you can take. Now what do these do? Well, let's say the respiratory system health is below 20%. You can buy this and it restores 25% of the respiratory system health. So if a system is close to collapsing, you can delay that by doing one of these measures. We have seen that in the death campaign it was used against us. But the main focus is going to be in the diagnosis, and here you can see symptoms that this poor guy has. And when you click on a symptom, it shows all the diseases that have this symptom attached to them. So considering that he has severe muscle weakness, he must have one of these symptoms causing it. Now we look at the health of the systems, and I can see, well, the muscular system is pretty hurt, and what's it called? The nervous system is pretty hurt. Now considering his muscle weakness is very severe, I would say Parkinson's is a very likely choice. So we go for that, we spend the 8 points and diagnose it. Now these two diseases are being diagnosed right now, and here you see the test being run. And once the test result is in, if he does have that disease, we can cure it. Now we're waiting. And he does, he has 4 of them. He has 4 diseases. We tested for 4 diseases and he has all 4. That costs 4 points. He has all these 4 diseases. That is not what I like to see. But getting 4 on 1 is, well, it's amazing, obviously. So our next step is, we look here. We want to treat this. It costs 14 bio points. This costs 4 bio points for an efficiency of 90 and 30 days. 6 bio points for an efficiency of 110 days. We want this one for 6. We can't afford it yet. So that is going to be the first thing we want to work on, because it doesn't cost much. It has a 100% efficiency and it only takes 10 days. Next up on the list is going to be this for 8 points and this for another 8 points. I'm now considering working on a nervous system recovery, on a lifestyle that improves the nervous system. But first, kind of gather up some more points, because what we want to try and do is we want to cure more of his diseases. That costs 8 as well. Now curing early has the very good benefit that the system just doesn't take more damage, because as soon as it's cured, the effect of the disease is gone. He's lifting weights, so we just evolved a trait. We kind of randomly mutated this lifestyle, and that helps out with the muscular and the skeletal system. Getting that is pretty lucky, so glad we got that. That takes 33 days. And we need to grab this for 8 points. Now what you can do is run diagnostic tests while you're waiting for the points to do the treatments. However, diagnostic tests also cost points, right? And I rather wait for the points to treat the diseases and then run further tests. Does he have burnout for the headache? It is possible, it only costs 3 points to test it, so we will. Although we don't have anything treated yet, and the nervous system is taking light damage, so it is questionable if he does have the headache. It wasn't tested for with the last test, but I think we will test for it this time. Just because we know the nervous system is the one that is taking the most damage. So I do want to run this test. We have something for the nervous system. That helps the nervous and the immune system. I don't really want to spend the points for. The circulatory system is taking massive damage, so we need to look at this next. He has chest pain. Since we are looking at circulatory system, this is looking for those 3 diseases, so we run that. And this was with the chest pain, I think. No, it wasn't. This is for chest pain. I think I still want to run this one. I do want to run this test. Because he does have issues with the circulatory system. And hypertension was positive. Very good. So I did certainly want to test for it. And we are going to spend the 6 points to cure it. We are 23% recovery, so that's going good. That is going very well as well. 2 more diseases found. We can cure those soon. Blood clots and deep vein thrombosis. We can cure the blood clots, and this will cost us 7. He doesn't have burnout, that's good. So as you can see, and as we have established in the dev campaign, I think I mentioned it once or twice, the life side is a lot more technical. It's a lot slower paced in my opinion, and it's a lot more thinking based on what could be, what could he have in this system, what disease is possible. So this is a lot more difficult to figure out. But honestly, there's a lot of logical thinking in there. Which diseases does he have? What could it possibly be? We know he doesn't have... He didn't go this path, but this path is possible. And this path is possible. The chest pain could be caused by these 3, or it could be caused up here. But first we want to treat what we already know. The next test would cost 5 points. You also need to think about which path could a disease have gone. Which path is possible. And that's where you need to know the paths. Now, to get these diseases, he must have gone through angina. He must have gone this path. But this also hurts, and I know that from a dev campaign, so it's easier if you played the dev campaign before. I also know that this affects the nervous system. Now does he still hurt in the nervous system? Slightly. So it's possible. What we want to do is I want to run this test, because we know he has gone this far in the path and he didn't go left, so maybe he went right. And I want to run this test for another 5. Possibly after we know if this test was alright. But I want to run it either way, so... Just to be sure. He only has chest pain, dizziness and nausea left, and dizziness would also be explained up here. Now I don't think he has a stroke. That should lead to more severe symptoms, and it should hurt him more. As we are waiting for the tests. Yep. There we go, another good test. We are running very good tests here. And curing these 2 as we prescribe this. I would rather wait for the 7 points. We're at 48% recovery. The end of this first mission is relatively slow. I've played this before. It is relatively slow, to be honest. Even if you cured all the diseases. And that is where investing in the lifestyle points really pays off. That cost 6, I'm sorry. Was a bit lackluster. Because this actually recovers your systems quite well. We're now at 67%. And these are now triggering the recovery. You can see it's just going up and up and up because we basically cured all the diseases. If I'm looking at this correctly, I don't think he has any symptoms left. Yep, no more symptoms. We cured everything he had. So now we have 1. Improve nervous system a little bit more, the circulatory a little bit more. That costs 11, but is very effective. So we are now just waiting for the game to pan out. There we go. That actually has a lot of effects, so getting that in a regular game is very good as well. And now we're just waiting. That's all we do at this point. You might have noticed we never got the last resource upgrade. That is because you never made a visit to the emergency room. So the better you play early on, the later you get the last resource upgrade. So if you know he's going to go to the emergency room anyway, you might actually be well off letting him go there and getting the resource upgrade. But I wouldn't really risk it. You want to make good progress. If he never makes a trip to the emergency room, you did everything right. Okay, so what do we have? We have a diagnosis efficiency of 150%. That is a very, very good one. We have a very good total score as well. And that was because we were thinking. We were figuring out, well, what could he have? What makes sense? Which system was the most in danger of going down? And when we went there and we looked at, well, what disease could be the reason? We figured it out, we tested for it, and we cured it. So this first mission should be pretty easy for you as well. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see each other in the second mission. Until then, farewell.